you,
Ed.
yung most recent survey showed that 28% of the public, they don't believe police claims na nanlaban yung suspect. Although pareho yan ng percentage ng naniniwala na nanlaban talaga, also 28% yung suspect, neck and neck silang dalawa. Parehong dami ang nagsasabi o naniniwala na hindi totoong nanlaban, naniniwalang nanlaban. That doesn't sound so good. I mean, you would have hoped na mas marami yung naniniwala na talagang suspect yung mga nanlaban.
Well, Ed,
How does that strike you?
we understand the public perception, the sentiment of our people, because they have seen that indeed there were instances where our colleagues, our PNP personnel, got involved in cases, in a high-profile case of suspects getting killed in police operations, in anti-illegal drugs operations. And I can cite this example of Kian, the late Kian de los Santos, where our operatives were found guilty of murdering Kian de los Santos. What we're saying, this is not the policy of the PNP. We always maintain and follow the rule of law, the rules of engagement. And it is always being hammered in the minds of our PNP personnel in their trainings and all this to respect human rights and value the human life. Human life.
Chief Albayalde has indeed been always explicit, always
Right.
consistent in saying exactly what you said, no? That the police will always respect rule of law and human rights. So yung tanong ko po is more on your opinion or your perception. Where do you think it's coming from? Where do you think the distrust of the public on our police is coming from?
Well, exactly, because some of our PNP personnel are involved in illegal drugs. We conducted mandatory and random drug testing of all our PNP personnel nationwide. And we have found out that about 322 of our personnel have been using or found to be positive under the influence of illegal drugs. So
Shabu in particular?
Yes, in Shabu. So what the PNP, what the leadership under General Oscar Albayalde has done is to immediately dismiss them from the service, separate them so that they won't be able to stay anymore in the ranks. This is a shameful act for them to be involved in illegal drugs, and they have no space for us in the organization, and so they were dismissed. And well, that's a reality that some of our colleagues are involved in illegal drugs, and they were dismissed right away. And here's more: some of our colleagues wouldn't want to undergo drug testing. Oh,
Nanlaban sila.
so that means, and some of them, they refuse to, or were neglectful in their court duties, attending court duties on drug cases. So some of the cases got dismissed because of their negligence. So all these, and then of course, some of the revelations of the suspects or those who have been arrested, their protector is a police officer, and all those stories, we have investigated them and we make sure. And in
may
fact,
kaso na po itong mga to.
they have a case ongoing against them, and they were dismissed from the service. So,
Yung mga ganun po, hindi sumipot sa hearing, basically ibinenta nila yung kaso.
that's a possibility. So all these are some of the reasons why, well, we understand the people feel this way.
Okay.
There is a distrust, but we assure the public that this is not a policy of the PNP. We always adhere to the rules of engagement, the rule of law, the respect for human rights and value of life. And we will always do this. And this will be our guide whenever we conduct our anti-illegal drugs operations. And we hope by doing this, we can regain the trust of the public.
But you would say that the culture is still there, because I know that I covered the police for a long time, and I know that there are policemen who resort to shortcuts to law enforcement because they're thinking, pupunta pa yan sa korte, mag-a-attend kami niyan, aabutin niya ng 10 taon. Di naman kami tinutulungan ng pulis sa pag-a-attend kami doon, pupunta kami kung saan-saan dyan. Tapos mamaya madidismiss lang yung kaso. I mean, that kind of attitude is still there.
Well, that's a possibility that it's still there. That's why we are always conducting seminars, retraining of our personnel. We have to constantly remind them and educate them on their duties and responsibilities and make sure that they toe the line, they follow the rules and regulations so that we will not tarnish the image of the PNP in the eyes of the public.
So yung nabanggit niyo na 322 na nag-positive dun sa drug testing. Well, to be fair about it, that's a small number considering that you're what, 100,000 plus?
Yes, this is only 0.2%
Of the police force.
The whole police force.
How big is the police force? 100?
Yeah, we are 181,000.
181 na ba?
Uniform.
181?
Yes, yes. If we include the non-uniform, then we are about 192,000.
However, this is random drug testing, hindi siya lahat, di ba? It's not testing for all 181,000. Yung sampling was how big?
Oh, this was done for all, mandatory.
Mandatory,
Yes.
hindi siya random.
We only do the random as part of the measure to ensure that nobody really goes into illegal drugs, using illegal drugs. The mandatory testing was done, of course, in different dates. It was not done at one time,
Hindi
of course.
sabay-sabay,
Yes. So, but all the PNP personnel have undergone the mandatory drug testing.